Part 2, Shadows of the Past. The silence in the library was suffocating, broken only by the faint hum of energy crackling in the air. Samantha stood, the obsidian key clutched in her hand. She could feel its weight. Not physical, but a strange, oppressive pull, as though it tethered her to something unseen. Chris was the first to stand, his face pale. "We need to burn that journal. Destroy the key. Whatever we let out, we have to stop it before it gets worse." "No." Samantha said sharply, her voice steady but laced with an edge of urgency. "We can't destroy it. Not yet. The journal, it holds the answers we need." Susie looked between them, her usual optimism faltering. "Answers to what? We don't even know what's happening. What if we're in over our heads?" Samantha turned to the journal, flipping through its pages. Words and symbols had appeared where the pages had once been blank, as though the journal had awakened with the key's touch. One passage stood out, glowing faintly in the dim light. "The shadow is bound to the seeker. The key must unlock the truth, or the curse will consume all." Samantha read the passage aloud, her voice steady despite the growing unease in her chest. "Whatever we've unleashed, it's connected to this town, to Hollow Pine, and somehow, to me." Chris ran a hand through his hair, frustration bubbling to the surface. "How is this all connected to you? Why does it have to be you?" Samantha hesitated, her fingers brushing over the faint scar on her wrist, a mark she'd had since childhood, one she could never explain. "I don't know yet, but the journal called me. The key chose me. I think this has been waiting for me my entire life." Before anyone could respond, the library's lights flickered, plunging the room into darkness for a split second. When the lights returned, the shadows seemed to shift unnaturally, almost as if they were alive. Susie grabbed Samantha's arm. "Did you see that?" Samantha nodded. "We're not alone." A low, guttural growl echoed through the library, sending a chill down their spines. Chris swung his flashlight toward the source of the sound, illuminating a shadowy figure in the far corner of the room. Its form was indistinct, shifting like smoke, but its eyes burned like embers, fixed on Samantha. The figure took a step forward, and the oppressive energy in the room intensified. Samantha gripped the key tighter, her heart pounding. "Stay back," she said, her voice firm despite the fear creeping into her mind. The shadow paused, its form rippling. Then it spoke, a voice that was both a whisper and a roar, echoing from everywhere and nowhere. "The key has been taken. The curse begins anew. The seeker must fulfill the pact, or all will fall to darkness." "What pact?" Chris demanded, stepping protectively in front of Samantha. The shadow ignored him. Its burning eyes locked on Samantha. "The past and the present are entwined. To stop the unraveling, you must return to where it began." Samantha's pulse quickened as she pieced it together. "The well," she whispered. "It's not just a starting point. It's the heart of all this." The shadow began to dissolve, its form dissipating like smoke in the wind. Its final words hung in the air, chilling and cryptic. "Beware the truth, seeker. It demands more than you know." As silence returned, Susie grabbed Samantha's shoulders, her voice trembling. "This is too much. Sam, what if we can't fix this? What if we make it worse?" Samantha stared at the key, its surface gleaming faintly under the library lights. She could feel its pull, the strange knowing in her chest, urging her forward. "We can't turn back now. Whatever this is, it's already started. If we don't stop it, no one will." Chris exhaled, his jaw tight. "Then we go back to the well, together." Samantha nodded, determination hardening her features. Together. The trio returned to the forest that night, the cold fog wrapping around them like a shroud. The path to the well seemed different now, darker and more twisted, as if the forest itself were alive. Samantha led the way, the key growing warmer in her hand with every step. When they reached the clearing, the well stood as they'd left it, but now the symbols on its stones glowed faintly, pulsing with an eerie rhythm. Samantha stepped forward, her breath visible in the freezing air. "This is it," she said. "The journal said the key unlocks the past. We have to go back, to wherever this all started." Chris frowned. "How do we even do that? Just jump in?" Samantha held up the key. "The symbols, they're a lock. The key will open it." As she inserted the obsidian key into a small hidden recess on the well's edge, the ground beneath them trembled. The key turned with a click, and the glow of the symbols intensified, bathing the clearing in an otherworldly light. A low hum filled the air, growing louder until it became a deafening roar. The well's dark depths began to shimmer, revealing a swirling vortex of light and shadow. Samantha turned to her friends, her green eyes blazing with resolve. Whatever happens, we stick together. Without waiting for a response, she stepped into the vortex, the light swallowing her whole. Chris and Susie exchanged a glance, fear and determination etched into their faces, before following her. As they were pulled through the vortex, a single thought echoed in Samantha's mind. The past holds the truth. But can they survive what waits for them on the other side? To be continued. Let me know how you...